Hi, I'm Phil, and welcome back to day 13 of my Christmas vinyl advent calendar. I'm doing something a little different today because it's a newer album, and I want to kind of talk about the album itself, a review of it, as well as present it as part of my advent. So, obviously, if you saw the thumbnail, you already know what today's album is. Plus, I'm not going to blur it out in the background here to give you a little bit of a tease on that. Today's album comes from, of course, Stryper. And it is a new album for them in that it's the first time that they have dipped their toes, so to speak, into the Christmas album, which is surprising given their background and their commitment to their faith. They're a Christian heavy metal band that broke through into the mainstream in the mid 1980s. They got their start in 1982, from what I can recall, and they had their big breakthrough with their album To Hell with the Devil. They followed that up with In God We Trust, which had number of hits. They've actually been on the Billboard 100 with three of their songs. They had a song, Honestly, that charted rather high in the 20s from what I recall. They also had a song called Always There For You, which charted, and I Believe in You, which also charted in the Billboard Top 100. They have continually put out records since the early 80s with a brief period where they did retire. I say brief, maybe it was a 15-year gap, but today they still have three of those original four members. Today they have that new bassist. They are a stellar rock band behind even their stance on certain issues. They are an amazing rock and metal band. And this album today does not deter from that. It is a stellar output. It released in November of 2025. It is, as I said, a Christmas song. It's made up of five originals and five traditionals or covers of Christmas songs. Matthew Sweet, of course, he sounds as amazing as ever, if not even more. It's amazing that at the age that these guys are, that they can still sound as powerful and as amazing as they do. And it's just another testament to the artistic merit of this band. I think of other bands who equally sound amazing when they put out content. You think of the Rolling Stones, and they constantly sound, as amazing as they did 50 years ago. And then you hear other bands, which I won't name, which I don't know, maybe it's time to hang up the towel, but this is an absolutely amazing output from them. Now, I will talk about the pressing itself, but let me show you the cover. The cover is awesome. I'm guessing maybe it's I can't tell if it's hand painted. It's very cool. Here it is here, the greatest gift of all. It's very, very cool. And on the back, you got these guys still rocking it out in their elder years. And then it's a gatefold, so you've got this beautiful lyrics all written. Now, the other cool thing about this album and this version of it here is that the liner notes that I'd like to thank. It says Michael Sweet first and foremost. What do you like to thank? There's an extensive listing of that all on the bottom here of the gatefold. That's something you don't really see much anymore. I remember when I used to read cassettes, I'd open it up and read and see if there was any, thing mentioned in there that perhaps would be new and interesting. Occasionally, I'd look for names that I might recognize. As I got older and I started working in the entertainment industry with music videos, seeing if there's any names that I'd recognize. Much like when you sit in the movie theater, it would be me and my two buddies that would be the only ones sitting through all 25 minutes of Lord of the Rings credits to see if there's any names that we recognize. But that's something that I loved about this. Now, I did pick up the black vinyl version. There are a number of other color variants that I saw as well. And the cool thing is I saw that on the Frontiers, it's put out by Frontiers record group. They had a number of stuff on sale right now. So if you're watching this in time, but it's entirely written and produced by Matthew Sweet. It says absolutely no relation. Matthew Sweet, Michael Sweet, Michael Sweet. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't negative comment me. Michael Sweet. Did I say Matthew Sweet even earlier? I don't know, but it's Michael Sweet. Um, but the best song on this album, by far, hands down, is this chunky, groovy, downbeat song, On This Holy Night. It's absolutely amazing, metal to the core, in your face. This is a fantastic sounding album musically. However, it does sound a little muddied. It would be great to have Chris Bellman cut, or a Kevin Gray cut, or a Bernie Grunman cut, or a Robert Ludwig cut, or something like that. But nonetheless, I'm very thankful. Now, the other thing about it is, I'm sure it keeps the cost down. I'm sure it keeps the cost down. But really, it was the cheapest paper sleeve I've ever seen. I had to tear it off to get it out because it was like stuck inside this thing. So I tore the paper sleeve off before I replaced it. And the album itself was coated in so much paper dust and strips of paper that I had to clean it multiple times to even try to get all that stuff off. And then when I was done, there's fingerprints on the vinyl, like baked in to the. Doesn't affect the sound. It is a noisy vinyl too. I mean, who cares? At the end of the day, it's all about the music, as someone else says. And I really, really enjoy just listening to the music. And sometimes the crackle and stuff adds to the. If I wanted a CD, I'd get a CD. But it is the fingerprints. That's what I'm like. Come on, man, for real. Yeah. Hey, I will say this: it's not warped. I'll take the fingerprints. I'll take them. Maybe the fingerprints are there because they bent it back into shape. That's what I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with that. Anyways, the greatest gift of all, Stryper. I recommend this. Adding it to your Christmas wish lists, your Christmas repetition lists of every year. This is day 13 of my Christmas Advent calendar. Remember, there's magic in these grooves, even with the fingerprints. I'll see you next time.